So Hughie Fury has officially withdrawn from the Michael Hunter bout for a second time, this time with illness. And as I said in a previous video where I spoke about the rumor that this fight was off again, Hughie has been a sickly fighter or a sickly man for most of his boxing career. He's always been dealing with some type of illness, issues to do with his skin, issues to do with, all sorts, going back many, many years. And he's pulled out of several fights over the years due to these various health problems. And such is the case this time as well with Michael Hunter. Not so much him, but more his dad, said that there wouldn't be a second pullout because, of course, he pulled out first time. I think it was an injury first time, right? Or was it an illness as well? Either way, pulled out first time, said, no, it's going to go ahead the next time, and it isn't going ahead. So make of that what you will. I'm sure there's some reasons given, blah, 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 but there's always a reason with Hughie Fury. And I'm not doubting that there's an issue there, but from a fan perspective, you can't rely on someone who's this sickly, who's constantly ill, who constantly has some type of problem. You can't rely on that guy because he's liable to do things like this, pull out of fights over and over again, in this case, twice against the same individual. So Michael Hunter moves on. He is going to have to look for another opponent, and somebody who's apparently in his crosshairs, let's hope this fight comes off, is Daniel Dubois. That's right. Michael Hunter is apparently interested in facing Daniel Dubois for the WBA regular title. Now, I really like that fight. I really like Hunter against Dubois. Bear in mind, Hunter's already taken down Bacoli a few years ago. I know a lot of people come out with excuses for Bacoli, but as far as I'm concerned, that was a real good win and a real good performance by Michael Hunter. One thing I will say, and this is still in the back of my mind regarding where Michael Hunter's at, is his relationship with his apparently former trainer and manager, Hasim Rahman. Because under Hasim Rahman, that's where Michael Hunter produced his best form of his career thus far. Since parting ways with Rahman, he hasn't been anywhere near as impressive. Is he one of those guys who needs that particular figure in his career in order to produce his best work? Now, look, he's not going to become a poor fighter overnight just because he changes trainers, okay? But sometimes you have fighters who aren't really that good when it comes to figuring things out for themselves, and they need a trainer or a particular trainer who understands their psychology, who maybe has a certain amount of authority over the fighter that can get them on the straight and narrow and tell them exactly what they need to do. Not every fighter is a Tyson Fury or a Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, some fighters need someone there guiding their every step. Is Michael Hunter like that? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because I'm looking at his performances and they seemed better under Hasim Rahman. Look, correlation doesn't always equal causation, Sometimes two things can seem to line up, but they're not necessarily related. Is that the case here with Michael Hunter and his performances since splitting up with Hasim Rahman? I don't know. In any event, I still like the fight between him and Daniel Dubois. I think that there is a high probability, or let's just say a high likelihood, of Michael Hunter winning. But then again, Daniel Dubois is a younger guy, much younger, very powerful. He's improving, I think, under Shane McGuigan. So I could also see a win for Daniel Dubois. I could also see him catching Michael Hunter with something big, maybe hurting him. We know that Hunter's tough and he's been fighting big guys since the amateurs. But, you don't know where he's at in his life. You don't know where he's at in his arc as a fighter. Is he on the way down already at 34 years of age? Possibly. So maybe Daniel Dubois might catch him at the right time. In any event, I still think it's a very intriguing fight. I hope there's more discussions about this. I hope that Michael Hunter pushes the issue. He's apparently working with Ben Shalom at the moment. I don't know whether he's got some kind of deal with Shalom. But of course, the fight with Hughie Fury was going to be via Ben Shalom on Sky. So maybe Ben Shalom still wants to work with him in some capacity. Maybe Shalom realizes he can't rely on Hughie Fury because of his constant pullouts over the years and his health issues. So let's see what happens there. Shalom has shown a willingness, of course, to work with Queensbury. They got the Joseph Parker fight done. Would he just want to put, let's say he has some kind of deal with Michael Hunter, would he want to throw him straight in with Daniel Dubois? I mean, maybe he would. Maybe he feels like Hunter has got a better shot at beating Dubois than Parker had at beating Joyce, although I'm not so sure, but you never know what goes on in Ben Shalom's head and the way he views these situations. But in my head, I think Michael Hunter does have a great shot at beating Daniel Dubois. He's faster than him. He's slick. He's more experienced. He's been in there with the Usyks of the world and Martin Bacoli and so on. And even in the amateurs, he fought Tyson Fury. Also was a sparring partner for Andy Ruiz. So we're talking about a very experienced guy here. Very savvy, crafty, fast. Not the biggest puncher in the world, but he can surprise you. Like Holyfield. Holyfield wasn't the biggest puncher in the world, but he could surprise you with shots. Like the way he surprised Riddick Bowe in their third fight. With a big left hook and put Bowe down for the first time in his career. So, yeah, I'd love to see Michael Hunter fight Daniel Dubois. Hopefully the public are intrigued enough by that fight that it actually puts pressure on one or both of them to make it happen. Let's see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.